Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the IEBC Commissioner, Abdi Guliye, has finally filed a respondent to the petition filed by Raila Odinga and the Azimio la Umoja concerning the presidential election results. And if you go through that story, you can easily conclude and say that whatever Abdi Guliye is sharing here look like fabricated lies. You know, when anyone has been taken to court, he can use any cheap propaganda in the same court, say anything to defend himself. And that is exactly what you can conclude from what Abdi Guliye is telling Kenyans. This story has been shared by the Star, and we want to go through that story as we also give our view step by step to the conclusion, because it's so much interesting reading how Abdi Guliye is trying to convince Kenyans with something that might not make sense at the end of the story. But as we go on, just a quick request, remember to subscribe to this channel, share our videos, give it a thumbs up so that also YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. This is the headline the Star is giving it. Security Council warned Chebukati from declaring Ruto a winner, Guliye. That's the headline. Now this is the story. Then the National Security Advisory Committee, NSAC, warned IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati not to declare William Ruto as president-elect. In an affidavit by Commissioner Abdi Guliye, he claimed that the Security Committee was led by the Principal Administrator Secretary in the Office of the President, Kennedy Kihara, Solicitor General Kennedy Ogeto, IG Hilary Mutyambai, and the Vice Chief of Defense Forces, Lieutenant General Francis Omondi Ogola. Guliye claims that at 2 p.m., an hour before Chebukati declared result, Deputy Inspector General of Police Nur Gabon went to the holding room and informed him that a team from NSAC had arrived at the tallying center and wanted to meet Chebukati. Look at that. Chebukati was busy at the time, but he indicated he would convene a brief meeting with the commissioners at 2 p.m. regarding the final result and to listen to the visiting team. At the meeting, Kihara relayed their message that if the commission declare Ruto as president-elect, the country is going to burn. Now look where the lies comes in. How comes when you declare William Samoei Ruto, the country burn? Yet these are two people who are front runners in this election, and everyone knows this. According to Guliye, Kihara proceeded to indicate that skirmishes between Kikuyu and the Luo community had already started in the several slums, including Kibera and Mathare, on the basis of alleged betrayal by Kikuyu. Now, this is where Guliye is bringing in the issue of ethnic and the tribe ethnicity in here. Now I want to bring in the issue of Kikuyu and the Luos fighting because of betrayal. How can you say that after this election, if you announce William Samoei Ruto, then it will be seen as Kikuyus have betrayed Luos in the election? Definitely you will realize that Guliye is trying to play tribal politics with the presidential result. As simple as that. Because you cannot link this to Kikuyus and Kalenjin, not Kikuyus and Luos fighting. Never at all. Now let us continue. The second message from the NSAC delegation was that if we cannot announce Raila as the outright winner, then we must ensure that ensure there is a runoff. After Kihara concluded his remarks, Chebukati invited us to share our views. The 4 dissenting commissioners were the first to comment and said the message warrants serious considerations. They supported the adoption of the communication with the delegation before taking a decision as to the result to be announced. Now let us continue. I, on the other hand, said that the commission has a constitutional mandate to fulfill, and in declaring the result, it will be guided by the same constitution, Guliye said. Now, you see, according to Guliye, the same fabrication goes on to say that now the next step should be that if you're not announcing Raila Amolo Odinga as winner, then call for a runoff. How will that one help Raila Amolo Odinga or William Samoei Ruto, or to heal this country by calling for a runoff? And now that's where he's bringing in the issue of the 4 commissioners who did not agree with the result announced by Wafula Chebukati. Instead of Guliye explaining to Kenyans the issues being raised by Azimio la Umoja and what has also been raised by the 4 dissenting commissioners, about 19 foreigners and the 2 Kenyans who got access to the IBC servers and changed the results there. He is simply not responding to that, but instead he is playing politics into this issue. So it shows you how he is playing a defensive position in this matter. As simple as that. He goes on to drag the issue of Security Council into this issue. So you are simply doing what? Putting baseless allegation on the Security Council. You bring them into politics just to serve your interest. Now, after hapa nasema nini? Chebukati at the same time said they had an oath of office which requires fidelity to the constitution. After the delegation left at 3 p.m., CEO Marijan walked in with the final result and handed a copy to all commissioners, and the 4 commissioners protested and insisted the result should be changed in the light of the NSSC delegation communication. Now, you know, at first place, if you go and check on what Chebukati has shared, he says that before he had any meeting with the delegation that was meeting with him, he was telling them that he wanted to meet with them, with the whole commissioners. But now what Guliye is saying here is that it is only Chebukati meeting with the Security Council, then he come and relay the information to them. So already there is a contradiction. Now let us continue. Masit and Wandera were of the view that the result should be pushed towards a rerun, which in their view would be a win-win situation. Cherel then suggested the margin is not too big and could be manipulated by moving 233,211 votes from Ruto to the rejected ballot category. Look at that. No one can buy into this issue. And this is what they quote. Having heard the views of all commissioners, the chairman indicate he would not discuss the subversion of the will of the people, and he would announce and then declare final result in according with the verified tally verified tally. The Affidavit states, regarding the 27 constituencies, Guliye says the result had already been verified in presence of agents of the candidates and included in the final tally in Form 34C. He further claimed that earlier in the delay at 3 a.m. on the morning, August 15, Raphael Tuju, former Senator Amos Wako, and Advocate Kialo Mbobu visited the IBC chair Wafula Chebukati. At the meeting, Tuju told Chebukati that it was necessary for the result to be moderated in favor of Baba, and that any contrary declaration of result would plunge the country into chaos. Kwani kuna jina Baba kwa koti, kuna mtu amefile case kutumia jina Baba hapo. So interesting. He suggested in the event it was not possible to declare Baba the president-elect, then the commission should force a runoff. He indicated that should his request be guaranteed, it would be adequately rewarded, Guliye claims. Look at that, so baseless. How can Raphael Tuju just walk in with other people and promise to reward Guliye and the team in case they declare Baba as president-elect? The question is, Raphael Tuju and the Busia governor, in which capacity were they visiting Chebukati? As politician, or in what capacity? He's not telling Kenyans. Because anyone would want his person to win election. And you can say anything you want to say, either in public or anywhere else. So, you see, that is politics he's trying to drag into this issue, rather than just giving his own respondent, which can help this case. According to Guliye, Wako proceeded to indicate that in his term as Attorney General, he also served as the election supervisor, and in that capacity, he would moderate result guided by the need to achieve a law and stability in the country. Unajua wakati Amos Wako alikuwa Attorney General, ilikuwa wakati wa Moi. In those eras where we had the old constitution, things changed. So you cannot say that he is coming in here to advise Chebukati on how to moderate the result. Yet this is an independent organ. Having heard the sentiment of Tuju and Wako, the chairperson invited the commissioner to comment. Commissioners Cherel, Nyagaya, Masit and Wandera agreed with the remark of both Wako and Tuju. Guliye, however, did not agree with what was going on, saying he did not know the outcome of the election at that point, and any such decision was unwelcomed. Commissioner Boya Molu similarly refused to entertain the discussion, view that was also shared by CEO Marjan. Chebukati, on the other hand, said he would respect the will of the people and announce the result as per the final tally from all polling stations. If you listen to that story up to the end, you can see even he's trying to talk on behalf of Wafula Chebukati rather than allowing Wafula Chebukati to file his respondent as an individual. So all the story that you are reading here, it is not a clear response to what the Azimio side have filed. There is evidence that has been shared everywhere, publicly people can see. Now someone goes ahead to say that the result from the said 28 constituencies were not announced because the person who was mandated to announce the result was injured by some people. Then the question someone will ask, was he the only person who had the mandate to announce that result? Ama kulikuwa na other commissioners who could do so? very weak response to that case. And if you look at that issue, the respondent here is simply playing politics, but not responding to the case as it would be needed. As simple as that.